Hey guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you to talk to you a little bit about our new light therapy service now being offered to clients. The great thing about this new service is it can actually brighten your covers and help to reduce foxing and stains. Check this out, guys. Here is a copy of Batman 227. And this one here has some really significant staining on the back cover, as you can see. Now here are the before pictures. Now you can obviously see the difference in the before and afters. The back cover is much brighter and those stains have been reduced significantly. And here is the comic back from CGC right now. It came back in 8.0. And the great thing about this book is it originally was 6.5. So yeah, light therapy does work. If you have a comic book in your collection that you think may benefit from our new light therapy service, simply send us an email with some pictures and we'll get back to you and let you know whether or not we think your comic is a good candidate. Thanks very much, guys, and look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Hey guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with an early morning March break CGC unboxing. That's right, guys. I was planning on doing it this evening, but you know what? My whole day just got filled with appointments, and I had to do a meeting this evening. And I said, you know what? I got to do an early morning show. I was going to go to the shop this morning, get some work done. I'm going to go to the shop, but after this stream. So if you're here this morning, perhaps you don't usually get to watch the show because of the timing. Well, guess what? Today you can. Welcome. Guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Like I said, another live CGC unboxing. These are books that belong to my clients. They've come back from CGC, and I come on here and do a virtual show and tell. If you love comic books and magazines and you love talking about that sort of stuff, well, hit that subscribe button and hit that, that like button too. That will help me out quite a bit, guys. All right. There's a few guys already populated the room, so welcome. I'll come over and say hi to you guys in just a few moments. And this is an open discussion. If you guys have any questions for me, oh, I'm back. There we go. The camera went off and it came back on there. That's really strange. So let's see here. Let's start off. We got a lot of books to go through. 3 boxes, like I said. Well, actually, you know what? It wasn't 3 boxes. It wasn't 3 boxes. It was actually, well, sorry, it is 3 boxes. It was 4 boxes, but actually 3 boxes. And this is going to be a problem for me as well. Another problem from CGC. Can you believe that? Yeah. Magazines. They usually send magazines back in boxes of 25, just like the comic books. But these particular magazines came back. They put 10 in a box. That's going to really throw off my pricing. So I'll start with these magazines first. They're very heavy magazines. Oh, the whole boxes. And so instead of sending me 25, I guess it makes sense. They sent them back in groups of 10. So Logan, these are yours. And the shipping probably cost me more than I charged. So you never know. There might be additional charge. I know you'll have to hear that, but I'll check with FedEx and see what I ended up being charged. Usually for magazines, I charge $12.50 per magazine coming back from Sarasota. These are, not your normal magazine. These are the Pokemon gaming manuals that are extremely heavy. Pretty cool books. And by the way, and we're going to get Logan on here at some point in the near future to discuss these with all of you, because I think he's launching a website kind of focusing on these. He's going to start I think he's going to start doing like, I don't know if it's going to be a census or not, but he'll explain all that to you when he gets here. But these things are heavy, boy. So I guess they figured putting them in a box of 10 is better than putting in a box of 20 or 25, because it would probably be close to 50, 60 pounds. Anyways, I'll have to check FedEx and see what ends up happening with this. Here we got a Pokemon Emerald. I can't tell you much about this stuff, guys. I don't know much about this, but they're just cool to look at. So here's one, a Pokemon Emerald in an 8.0. And then we have a Crash Bandicoot in a 9.0 right there. This is an 8.5 copy of Pokemon Stadium. 8.5. Very colorful, that's for sure. Heavy and colorful. And then we've got a Pokemon Crystal version Any of you guys played, use these when you were younger or still to this day? Pokemon Crystal version 7.5 right there. And we have a Pokemon trading card game 9.0. And then we have another Crash Bandicoot, but a different one. Official strategy guide in an 8.0. Right there. And we've got a Dark Cloud in a 9.6. Now, these guys are really difficult to press. I'm not going to beat around the bush on that one. If you guys are going to start getting into these or interested in getting into these it can be pressed and worked on and improved, but it's not. They're not as straightforward as a comic book, and they're certainly not as easygoing as a regular magazine. Let's put it to you that way. They're very thick card covers, which present a lot of they require a lot of hand tooling and multiple pressings, oftentimes, or more times than not. But yeah, anyways, there you go. That's the first 10. There's another 11 or so, I think. Let's see here. We also got, and they are heavy, boy. Let's go over to the chat and see if I know who's here like right now. We got quite a few guys here for the morning. Not 23 people. I wasn't expecting many guys. John's in the house. How you doing, John? Midday show. Good. Thanks for coming out. How you doing, Lewis? Good to see you too. Bad Hombres here. Mike, how you doing? Canada Comic Guys here. March break. That's right. Troy Tootie. I like the early morning shows. I can watch while I'm at work. Well, no. You got to work when you're at work. Come on now, Troy. Behave yourself. Carlos here. How you doing, Carlos? I don't ever see Carlo at my shows anymore. I guess morning is best for him, and I think I know why. How you doing, Carlo? Brad Bond is here. First time live view. Good to be here. Excellent, Brad. Welcome. Logan, reach out to me. Would be interested in talking about the Pokemon guidebooks. I don't know if Logan's even here or not, but I will let him know, Carlo. I'll put you two together. Zook's Pop Culture. Greetings from a CGC facility here in the UK. Love your show. Stay strong, Canada. Thank you, Zooks. Thank you very much. Yes, what's going on, eh? It's crazy times. We got a Pokemon Emerald version 9.0. Welcome, Zooks. Hey, Zooks, I got a question for you. Do you ship to the UK CGC or do you have to send it to the American one, or do they send it to the American one for you? I guess what I really want to know is, do they grade the CGC Europe or UK grade the books in Europe, or do they ship them to Florida? We also have a Pokemon Ruby version in 9.2. And we've got a Zelda in an 8.0. Why is all this craziness happening all over North America? Well, maybe it's because of this guy right here. Time Life volume 204, number 3 from last year, 2004. Huge book right now in a 9.8. Attack on Trump. That's a pretty big book right now. See, this book here is a magazine, obviously, too. Same slab as these guys, but this thing weighs like half of this, if not more. Like, these Pokemon things are really heavy. All right, so that. Got a 7.5 copy of Pokemon Official Strategy Guide. Again, I don't know what's up with these things. I don't know what this is. Hence my hesitation in moving into the card world, right, guys? Because I just don't know nothing about these. I can work on them, but I know nothing about them. Wayne, my trusty Blue Wrench is here. What is he saying here? Yes, sir. But that's not the reason. I just got I'm not on break, man. I'm working like every day this week. It looks, my whole day is booked today. My whole day tomorrow is booked. Thursday I might have a little reprieve. And I want to do another show this week too. Another show would be nice. All right, here we go. We got a 9.8 copy of PSA magazine and a 9.8. Very cool. I showed that one already. Yes, I did. We also have a Pokemon Emerald version 7.5 right there. Oh, that one weighs like, that's got to be, I don't have my that's going to be like 2 to 3 pounds right there for sure. 2 to 3 pounds at least. Got some serious weight to it. We've got a Pokemon Special Edition Player's Guide 9.4. And then we have a Pokemon Fire Red, whatever it is called, in a 9.0. Okay, we also have a Nintendo GameCube Pokemon XD in an 8.0. We've got PSA Magazine number 8. Also, now it's the silver, the gold one. The silver one is also in a 9.8. It's a pretty nice looking book. We have a, and this was a magazine as far as they were concerned, 9.2. Like, they're generous with these grades, man. 9.2. Pokemon Emerald version, little tiny little mini thing there, 9.2. And then a 9.2 copy of Pokemon Stadium 1 and a 9.2, like I said. And then last but not least, for the Pokemon manuals, one sec, guys. Then we got a Resident Evil and a 7.5 right there. Okay. There you go. So that's 21 of these babies. Let's see. Let me just put these away really quick. Go. There we go. So there you go, guys. Something you don't see every day. I had to put those away because they're kind of all over the place here. Now, again, these magazines, like, usually CGC ships books back in batches of 25 comics. You know, sometimes you get 21, 23, 24, whatever. But generally speaking, they'll pack them up as full as they can, usually. And with these magazines in the past, they've usually come back, maybe not in 25, but they've sent at least, I think, 18 to 25 to 20 of them. But again, the box was the same size as the other box, but instead of putting, you know, more magazines in it, they only put 10. So again, I charge $12.50 for magazines coming back from CGC. I have to check now to see what I was really charged on these because I'm paying customs clearance fees on top of the shipping. The shipping may have gone down a little bit because it's lighter, but I got to look into that. I'm not sure. So these magazines in future will probably have to be charged a little more for shipping. And I got to see what I was charged. Now, hopefully, if it was a couple of bucks, I don't mind covering it. But if it was a lot, then, well, Logan and I have a conversation. All right. Who else is here? We've got, so Zooks answers my question. He says, the London office is only a submission center, all grading takes. Yeah, I don't understand that. That to me is crazy. That to me is crazy, you know? Yeah. And no wonder there's only 2 of you in the UK. I would, my God, I dread sending books to Florida from here. I couldn't imagine dealing with the overseas stuff. Like, oh my Lord, no, thank you. And now he's talking the whole EU stuff too. So tariffs, oh boy. Although again, I don't think the tariffs are really going to affect you or me because these are not items sold. The only thing the tariffs would make sense to me, although even still, I don't think so, would be if they were to say that, you know, well, you're going to pay tariffs on the service. Well, that makes sense. Even what I do now, like whatever I pay for the service, okay, if you want to charge me a tax or a tariff on that service, that's fine. But the way it usually works in Canada is tariffs only kind of happen if there's no other service or product in Canada, right? I learned this a long time ago. I was looking into importing at one point, and if, for example, I wanted to import, you know, this particular a tape measure. Okay, I want to import tape measures from, I don't know, from somewhere overseas. If there are 3 manufacturers of tape measures in Canada, I'm going to be paying heavy tariffs bringing this over because they want you to use the Canadian manufacturer, not the overseas manufacturer, which makes sense. So now, if there was nobody in Canada who made tape measures, I could import them with 0 tariffs. So that's what I'm saying. There are no other real, well, there is, I think, a grading company in Canada now. I discovered them for the first time yesterday. I don't know how good they are, but that said, I guess they could charge a tariff based on that. But the products, there's no products, right? These are items being returned to the client. Anyways, Eric, how you doing, buddy? New Brunswick is lunchtime. Yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry. It's 11:15 here. I'm going to eat after I'm done this. My vintage CG books No, it should be May, I think, Bad Umbre. I think we did not choose fast track on those. We're just waiting. But some of those vintage books are on their way back now. So I would assume probably May. I think I was saying that the last of those vintage books that were submitted without the fast track would probably go into May. That'd be like the most though. So that's what we're looking at. I think. Candy Connect says hello. Thank you, Wayne. I'll reiterate what Wayne is saying. Thank you very much. Boom, boom, boom. Chris Ball. Hey, Kevin. Will the tariffs? There we go. We talked about that. Yeah, there you go. Even if tariffs should affect you, they'll somehow find a way to increase the cost and blame the tariff. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I talked about this last week. We'll be interesting to see how CGC responds to tariffs as PSA have paused all orders from Canada and Mexico. Well, again, I talked about this last Tuesday as well. I think the reason PSA did that, you can still send a PSA through their own branch in the Maritimes. They just don't want to all of a sudden be inundated with thousands of orders coming in from Canada and then have to deal with the tariff issue because no one knows what's going on. Nothing has been clearly, there's no exact rules as to how it's going to work or what's going to happen or what's impacted. So instead of dealing with that with 1,000 individual orders, they're encouraging people to ship their books to their Canada branch so that they can just send everything down in one shot. And then if there's any tariffs, they'll deal with that at that time. That makes total sense. CGC, I don't think it seems to be too concerned about it. To be honest, I've been sending books. I sent a batch down on Friday. I'm sending another batch down this week. So, I mean, I really don't think it's going to impact. And if it does impact us, I don't think it's going to be crazy, crazy money. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. All right, guys, you got some magazines. I think it's time to look at some comic books. Let's see what we got here. So first off, we have a Detective Comics, excuse me, a Neil Adams verified signature, 9.4. We have also a Wolverine 88 and a 9.0. Oh my God, they're so light compared to those magazines. They're like, it's like feathers. We got a bunch of Watchmen books here. One's a 9.0 right here. We got a whole bunch. I'm just gonna pull them out really quick. 1, 2, 3. You got 4 of them. So we got a 9.6. Just so you know, I'm not saying I got more when I don't. 8.0, 8.5. Then we got a Wolverine number 1, 1988, and a 9.6. And then we have a 9.8 Wolverine number 8 right there. Robert popped in. How you doing, Robert? Good to see you. We have a 9.8 Spider-Man 299. This is box number 2 if you're just getting here. One more box to go. We have an ASM 316 newsstand copy and a 9.2. Then we got a Spider-Man 101. First Morbius. Don't see this one out quite as much lately now, do we? In a 7.0. And I don't know if you've been onto my Instagram site or not, at Comic Doc. I have about 3 or 4 Instagram accounts, but you want the blue logo one. It's at Comic Doc. I've been trying to post on that site twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So I'm showing kind of a what's in the press, what's going in the press. Not everything. I'm not showing every single item, but I am trying to give kind of a general overview of the various books that we're working on from day to day. So we're taking pictures of a lot of the stuff. And yeah, so if you are on Instagram and don't follow us yet, go on over there at Comic Doc, give us a follow. We're almost at 3. You know, it's really kind of upsetting because I've been at this for many, many years. And I think because I'm in Canada, because I've seen other pressers who don't do even 10% of what I do have like 7,000 followers. And I'm at just under 3,000 followers. I think it must be because it's I'm Canada based, which sucks because, hey, I got a lot of American clients too. But anyways, yeah, help me get to that 3,000 mark. That'd be even here on YouTube. I'm almost at 3,000. Like, geez, it takes forever. We have a vintage book, guys. We got a first Polaris here, X-Men 50 and an 8.0. That's a great copy right there. Love that book. And we have a Spider-Man 53 and an 8.0. I think that's a nice grade. I also sent out a batch of books today. So I think one of my final Montreal orders finally went back to Nick. If you're watching, Nick, thanks for your patience. We were waiting for the first Death Lock. It took forever. Anyways, it's finally on its way back to Quebec, back to Ottawa. 9.0 Fantastic 473. That's right there. Very nice cover. All right, here's one from our thumbnail. ElfQuest. Any of you guys were into ElfQuest back in the day? Number 1. Right there, Fantasy Quarterly. This one had a really stubborn little sticker residue, and it was almost impossible to get off. The paper on this is like newsprint. It's almost like the adhesive just stained it. And yeah, it was very difficult to work with. If that was on a glossy cover, it would have come off much easier. There may have been a little bit of residue. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say residue, a stain. Sometimes not with glossy covers, but this one, because it was a very porous paper, it just sucked it up, unfortunately. 8.0, anyhow. Okay, those. Oh, of course, we have, nice. We have an Omega Man number 3 and a 9.4. We got a banger book here from a new client, and his name is escaping me right now, but I think he'll be happy with the results. 9.6 copy of Amazing Spider-Man 129. Off-white to white. Very solid copy. I'll get these ones sorted, guys, probably tomorrow. If I can get an hour to do it, I will do it. All right, the last five from this box. We go over to a DC book, finally. Well, I guess Lobo is a DC book too. Batman 227 and a 6.0. Right there. And we have an Amazing Spider-Man 361, second printing in a 9.8. How do you know it's second printing? Well, the cover is silver. The second printing is silver, in case anybody is wondering. We also have a 4-color 976 Zorro. Very cool Zorro cover there. I think these are, I'm not sure whose these are. These could be Andy's books. Last of Andy's books. A 4.5 copy of The Astonishing Ant-Man Marvel feature. And a pretty awesome Steranko cover. Not in the greatest of shape, but still a pretty sick cover nonetheless. Captain America number 113 and a 4.0. There you go. That's box number 2 of 3. One more to go. Before I do that, however, I will go over to the chat and see what you are all saying. Perhaps some of you have questions. All right, put that here, there. All right, so all the invoices that go with that particular order, I'll kind of scoot that over there like so. And bring the other one over. All right. Let's see if you guys are saying anything. What tariffs? There's tariffs on subscribers, maybe. You like your Amazing Spider-Man books? Okay, you guys are pretty quiet. No problem. I will continue on with box number 3. Start off with a 9.8. I like to see that. There are 13 of these books come from one owner. It's a 9.8 copy of the Infinity Gauntlet. Right there. These, I think, belong to Dave B. because I got a lot of Secret Wars 2. And I know he submitted a lot of them. A 9.8 copy of Secret Wars 2 number 8. These I know are for his man cave. Dave has got the sweetest man cave. I've seen pictures of this man's man cave. Very impressive. A 9.8 copy of number 9. We got a 9.4 copy of ASM 316. That's a direct copy. And then we got more Secret Wars, Dave's books again. We have a 9.8 number 3. And we got a 9.8 number 4. Oh, boo. Oh, 8.5 number 2. Now, why? Why are all these getting... I'll show you why. Look at that top corner right over here. See that little crease there? Right there? Yeah, right. Sorry, I don't know if you can see it or not with the light. Let me see if I can get a better shot for you. Right? You can probably see it from here. Right there. The light's not hitting. Anyway, take my word for it. There's a crease there. And because of that crease, they hammered it because the rest of the book actually looks pretty damn good. But with these moderns, they'll just crucify you. It's a real shame. We got a Secret Wars number 7 and a 9.8. I remember when Secret Wars 2 came out, I was so excited because I love Secret Wars number 1, right? The first series. And so number 2, you want to get, and yeah, it just didn't take off quite as well as number 1, did it? We got a 9.8 number 6. And a 9.8 number 5. And a 9.8 number 1. So I think Dave's going to be hunting down a 9.8 number, what was it, number 6, was it? No, number 2. What else we have here? All right, let me make some room here on my desk here. Mikey S is in the house. Mikey, hey Kevin, I'm guessing my Amazing Heroes number 1 still there, Mike. It's still there. Still there. Mike submitted a magazine. It was a 9.6, I believe, right, Mike? And we wanted to try to see if the CCS Touch could get you that 9.8. And it's still there. It's been there for a few months. And yeah, they're very slow. If you're going to use CCS, guys, be warned, your books are going to be there for a few months. It's not going to come back in a... Now, could we have paid Mike a fast track fee for that? I don't know. If you would have put it through as like a unlimited value, it may have gone through quicker, maybe, but you would have paid like probably 3 times what you're paying. Anyways, let's keep going here. But it shouldn't be too much longer. And you know it really sucks, Mike. All this waiting, it could come back a 9.6 again. That's the real stinky part of it all. 9.8 copy of Spec Spider-Man number 90. We have a Catwoman number 1 of 4 and a 9.8. We have an X-Men 140 newsstand edition in a 9.0. And we have, oh, look at that. That's a nice looking book there. We've got a 9.8 copy of Sideways #1. And a really nice chromium copy. Is it, they call it chromium? I don't know. It looks chromium to me. Venom number 26. It's a foil edition, sorry. Hard to see, but pretty cool book. And then we've got a Naughty 9.9. Naughty book alert. Here we go. Well, maybe I should put something over that so you don't see that. Let's see. Here, I'll just put my hand over it. We've got a 9.9 copy of Jinkies #1, Black Ops Publishing, in a 9.9. Anyways, there you go. She's topless, so I don't get some kind of weird strike on my YouTube channel. There you go, 9.9. And then we have a 9.8 Ren and Stimpy show. Right there. Powdered Toast Man. And then we have a Sensational She-Hulk. I think these might be a pre-screen 9.8 order. And a number 4 and a 9.8. Your first appearance is reintro of Golden Age Blonde Phantom. Stiltman appearance. Okay. And then we have a Dungeons and Dragons #1, also in a 9. Yeah, this has got to be a 9.8 pre-screener. And then last but not least, we've got a Crisis on Infinite Earths #7 and a 9.8 right there. Let's see what you guys are saying, and then I'm going to go eat because I'm getting kind of hungry. After Eric talked about lunchtime in New Brunswick, heck, it's lunchtime here too. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, Mike says it was a 9.4. Okay, well, you know what? That makes you happy. Hopefully, at least go up to a 9.6 and not stay to 9.4. Hector's here. Hey, Hector, how's it going? Kevin, will you be ready to submit the PSA when they start grading? Well, I'll be honest. I have a meeting with PSA tomorrow to talk about just that. So yeah, and other stuff is happening, but I'm not going to talk about that yet because I'm not sure. I alluded to it a few weeks ago. If you watch the show, you'll know, but I'm not going to talk about it again because it's still up in the air. But as far as PSA goes, yes, I'm talking with PSA tomorrow, early or late morning, to discuss the whole comic book grading thing. And if I'm able to talk about it, I'll ask them what I can say, not say, and I'll pass on to you what I find out. And do as Hector says, because Hector knows. All right, there you go. And Hector's from T.O. Comic Shop. I think he's go visit him at the Toronto Comic Con this weekend, or this week. Yeah, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Hector, I believe, is setting up. Hector, what booth are you going to be? What, if you're still watching, what booth are you going to be this weekend at the convention center? They got great stuff over there. I've known Hector and his wife Elizabeth for a long time. He's a long time comic book seller, I guess you could call them. I met them, at a toy store, a toy show in Brampton years ago. Oh, wrong Hector. Hector, let me see. I'm looking at your little picture. You kind of look like Hector, the Hector I'm talking about. Well, anyways, I thought I was shouting you out there. Anyways, Hector, thanks. There you go. But if you guys are going to the Toronto comic show this weekend, go visit Hector and Elizabeth, T.O. Comic Shop. You can't miss them. Are you seeing good results with foxing with blue light? Oh, yes, Brad. Oh, yes. We've had great success. And I can honestly say not one purple or conserved label yet. I anticipate we will get stung at some point, but as of right now, no, nothing. We're all good. Hector says, I hope PSA does different label colors for signatures. They don't for cards. I'm pretty sure they've heard the responses from everybody regarding their labels. That was one of the biggest critiques I heard when they first showed off their slabs last year in San Diego. but I have no idea. I will ask them and see what they tell me, but who knows? I'm not sure. I'll find out. I'll try to find out. I need to ask a question about CGC. They damaged my book. Do they compensate? Well, that's kind of a hard one to answer because it depends on the situation. Did you receive your book back from CGC and you noticed damage on your book? Or did they contact you and say, hey, we damaged your book? I could tell you right now that my buddy Roy, you all know Roy's been on here before selling books. I'm going to bring Roy back too, by the way, soon. He's got a lot of great stuff to sell. I'm going to do a sale in the coming weeks with Roy, but he had a box he shipped out to CGC and they contacted him almost a month and a half after it was received, telling him that the box it was shipped in was damaged. Hence, all the books were damaged and they offered zero compensation, but they said it happened in shipping. Who knows, right? So oh, I see. Okay. So he's saying, I can't really prove it. No before photos. They're sending it and I see it. Okay. Well, yeah, unfortunately, you can try. I think you can contact customer service or the person you sent it through. But honestly, I'll give you an example. Even just the other day, I sent 4 books back to a client this week, and one of them, all the books were like 9.92, 9.4. One was an 8.5, and I pulled the book out, and the book has damage on the book that was not there when I sent it in. And the owner says, "Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to press it and send it again." That's what we're going to do. You're going to spend a lot of time on emails and get really upset and really frustrated trying to get them to compensate you for something you really cannot prove. And you know what? Yeah, I've heard people, and I've done this in the past too, where if I have a picture of a book prior to being sent in, sometimes they will compensate you or give you a free pressing or maybe cover the grading fees to send it back. But yeah, you got to know, guys, when you send books in, you're really it's paper, and even sometimes, even if you pack that parcel really, really well, it's going through several different hands before it gets to the grader. Just got to remember that. And if you can't risk that, or if that risk seems too great to you, honestly, don't send your books for grading. Simple as that. Simple as that. If you are fortunate enough to be near a city where CGC does on the spot grading, they do it at some of the shows. Baltimore, I think they do it in Baltimore, for example. You can drop your books off on a Friday and get them back on a Sunday, and there's least amount of people handling your books. Although shit can go sideways with that as well, right? All I'm saying is you got to understand when you send your books out, there's always a risk of some kind of handling damage, either through the courier, through the person receiving the boxes, the people unpacking the boxes, even the grader could make a damage to the book, Yeah, I hate to tell you that, but that's the truth of the matter, right? And it sucks. They scratched my book, 1 of 85 irrecoverable damage on back cover. I hand delivered to CGC. Oh, in London. Oh, yeah. So I mean, oh wow. I don't know what to tell you. I feel really bad, man. And the fact it's going to London and he's here actually. He was here earlier. Where is he? Zooks. Was Zooks? Yeah. Zooks was talking about it. Think about where that book is going, right? And I would imagine, Zooks keeps all the books, he packs them really well and he waits until he has enough books to ship, I would assume. And then it goes on that long journey overseas, right? And yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. And it would really stink to think that the book was scratched at Sarasota, But that being said, what was the grade? Did it come back a high grade, or did they mention the damage on the label, like on the notes? Because sometimes I've found is that a book will have a 9.8, right? And I'll notice dents and dings in the book. And it was obviously damaged after it was graded. It was graded and then it was being encapsulated. During encapsulation, damage occurred. I've seen that happen. So yeah, I don't know. You can contact CGC and see what they say. That's the best bet. But I don't think you're going to have probably much luck, to be honest. I'm afraid to tell you. But you certainly can try. They do say the squeaky wheel gets the oil. You can certainly give that a shot. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go eat. So listen, thanks so much for popping by for this early morning. Well, I don't know, it's early mid-morning show, which is totally unheard of here at the Comic Doctor shop. Usually it's 8:30 every Tuesday night. I'm going to try to come back. I have 3 more boxes ready to share with you, and I think more are on the way. So be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I do go live. And if you're new here, welcome. Great having you. And yeah, and by the way, if you are looking for a presser or a CGC facilitator in North America, I'm happy to oblige. I have an offer going on right now. I think I already showed it to you. I'll show it to you again in case you didn't see it. It's right here. Boom. Ship your comics to me for free if you're in North America. If you send me 10 or more comics for pressing and cleaning, I will ship your books from you to me free of charge. That's right. I'll cover the shipping. And if you're in the United States, I'll even cover the customs fees to get your books to me. And good news, once I send the books to CGC, they go right back to you from CGC if you're American. All right, guys. I thought I saw one more comment here. Let's see what's going on. This is interesting. You know, then I'm taking off. Zooks spoke up. If you had your books bagged and boarded in the UK office, would not be taking them out of the bag. Of course. So it was for a signing event. Oh, was in a signing bag, came back in 9/2. Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot of things going on there, right? It's traveling a long ways and then it's being signed. So, you know, it's in a bag to be signed. It's being handled even more. Again, these are not excuses I'm trying to make here, but these are it's just reality. You know, the more the book is handled, the more chance of damage occurring, you know? Yeah. Anyways, if you want to contact Zooks Pop Culture, why don't you give them ones your contact information, and then maybe you guys can talk after the show. Throw them maybe your Instagram link or your email address, and if you guys want to chat, because if you're from the UK, it would have gone through one of 2 facilitators, according to Zooks, right? Anyways, guys, that is it for me. Take care. Have a great rest of your March break. If you're on the March break, if you're working like me, well, try to have some fun. Try to have some fun while you can. All right, guys, take care. Have a great rest of the week. Like I said, bye for now. See ya.